excited. We have some pretty entertaining experiments today. The first one is called, I like to call it disappearing candy, but you can also call it dissolving candy. Basically, we're going to use some candy that's like pure sugar. So I've got candy corn here from Halloween. We're going to use some of that. You're also going to need different types of liquid. I'm going to use 3 types of liquid today. So I already have some cold water, some hot water, and then I'm going to actually pour some vinegar into this last one. You can use different types of liquid though. You can use oil, you can use milk, you can use a combination of water and borax if you've got that at home. It's kind of up to you to see, you know, how this is gonna go. And on our website, we actually have a, on our virtual programming page, we have a worksheet where you can write down the type of liquid and what you think is going to happen to the candy corn when you put it in the liquid. You can do this with other candies too, but like I said, you want to make sure they're mostly sugar, so you could use, let's see, candy canes work really well, gobstoppers. It's even pretty cool with M&Ms or Skittles. But candy corn is what we're going to use today. And like I said, you're going to write down the type of liquid. And you can just do this on a regular sheet of paper at home too. You don't have to get the worksheet. And what you think is going to happen. And then afterwards, we're going to observe what's happening, and you can write down your observations and see if you were right or not. I also, just to keep everything straight, you might want a piece of paper, paper towel, a napkin, something that you can write what everything is. And when we're ready, we're actually going to take out the candy corn and take a closer look at it too. So this will help. Did I do that right? Yes, okay. So there we go. So now we have them labeled. So we won't forget which liquid is which. Important. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Now that we've got our liquids measured out, we'll go ahead and get some candies. Oops. All right, so let's go ahead and put, why don't we do 2 candy corn in each one. And what, like I said, what you're thinking about here is what is going to happen to this candy corn. Is it going to disappear? Is it going to dissolve? Is the color going to get taken away? Is it going to fall apart? Is it going to explode? Is it going to do nothing? Is it going to get soggy or smushy? So that is what we are looking for with our predictions here. What do you think is going to happen to this candy corn? And you can kind of see we've got some bubbles being released out of the one in the hot water. I see some bubbles coming, and it kind of looks a little bit different color-wise. And same thing over here in the vinegar. I can see kind of a film over the candy corn. In the vinegar cup. In the cold water cup, I see a little bit happening, but I think I see the most happening in our hot water over here. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does look like some of the coloring is coming out. You can kind of see it spreading out from the candy, which is pretty cool. And like I said, you can see those bubbles being released, those air bubbles. And you can also see some little pieces floating to the top even that are kind of looks like maybe the outer shell is coming apart. So that is pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can see a lot happening right now. So that's going to keep happening, and this is going to, reaction is going to kind of keep going as we go. But I think we can take a break from looking at this for a minute. And we're going to go ahead and start working on our second experiment, and we'll come back to the candy corn. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and move right here. So for this experiment, this is called dancing popcorn. And for this one, you're going to need some of the same things. So you're going to need some vinegar, some baking soda, some popcorn kernels, a measuring cup, a tablespoon, a tall glass, and again, just a dish with a lip in case we get any mess. And you know, for this one, we're going to be putting, oh, and you're also going to need some water, which I have somewhere around here. So you're going to need all of those things. Let's go ahead and actually take a quick look now that we went over what we needed. Let's take another look at what's going on over here. So we'll go ahead and take a close look at each of them and write down some of your observations about what's happening here. All right, so I hope you were able to write down some cool things. Like we were talking about before, I can actually see holes in the hot water candy. It's completely dissolved in areas, and pieces have floated up to the top. And like I said, you can see the color seeping out of it. But that one is definitely going the fastest. And then over here in the cold water, you can see some of the same things happening that were happening in the hot water, but at a much slower rate. So that's interesting. Cold water is going much slower than the hot water. And over here in the vinegar, it's looking faster, I would say faster than the cold water, but not nearly as fast as the hot water, but similar, although it's all still intact. So we'll come back and take another look at this in a few minutes. We're gonna come back to our popcorn, dancing popcorn though. So I already measured out my vinegar. So right here, I have half a cup of vinegar, and I have my water in here. So we're gonna go ahead and pour that right in there. All right, so we don't need our vinegar anymore, so I'll move that out of the way. And next up, we're gonna wanna add our popcorn kernels. All right, and we'll just kind of eyeball it. You can put as many as you like. So we're just gonna put that many. All right, so we've got our popcorn kernels, our water, and our vinegar in our cup. The last thing we're gonna need to do is we're gonna add some baking soda and see what happens. Now, I don't know if you remember the last time we added vinegar and baking soda together, but I think this reaction is gonna happen rather quickly. So we wanna keep our eyes on it. So, are we ready? Here we go. Whoa! Good thing we had a dish with a lip, right? Okay, so now you can see how, now that the reaction of the carbon dioxide being released has calmed down, you can see how all the popcorn has made it to the top. And if we keep watching, we're gonna see that as the bubbles that are surrounding the popcorn kernels pop, they will fall down, and then more gas bubbles will form around them, and they will come back to the top, which is pretty cool. And this will keep going on for quite a while. So you can see how they're all just hanging out at the top. There's so much air bubbles, carbon dioxide bubbles right there, that they're actually mostly staying at the top. But as those start to pop, we'll see them fall down and come back up, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so as you can see, like I was talking about before, the popcorn kernels are surrounded by the carbon dioxide that's being released when we combined that acid and base together. So those gas bubbles are all around each individual popcorn kernel, and when they all are attached to the popcorn kernels, they're so light that they float up to the top. But once those gas bubbles pop, the popcorn kernels are too heavy and they sink down to the bottom. And like I said, this will just keep happening, and it's actually quite entertaining to watch. But now that we've seen that kind of go its full cycle there, let's take a look at our candy corn and see what's going on over there, because I have a feeling that has had some changes. Okay, wow, these are looking so different. So I think we're about ready. It's pretty cool. From the top, you can see some of the color. From the front, you can actually see the color really well. But look at the difference in each one of these and how they are reacting. Like I said, the main difference here seems to be time that things are reacting. But wowee, the hot water ones are almost completely gone, which is crazy. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead, let's see. That's still a little warm, so I won't get that one out, but I'm gonna go ahead and take out one of these from each so we can take a closer look. See if we can see any other differences. I'm gonna try to take out one. No, you know what? I don't even think I'll be able to take one out from the hot water because there's basically nothing left. So I'm not gonna attempt that. But we can take a closer look at the one that was in the vinegar and see kind of what it looks like. And you can feel it and see if it feels squishy or kind of what's going on there. It does look like it was starting to get eaten away also. It does look definitely thinner. So that's pretty cool. And it does look like it's got a little, maybe some holes, little holes in it. And then over here at the cold water, like I said, we can see that film that holds the candy all together was coming off. And it also does look pretty thin there at the edge, like it was starting to dissolve. And we can see even just from setting it down how the color is still leaching out of it, which is pretty cool. All right, so that is our experiments for today. And like I said, I hope you had a chance to write down your observations and compare them to your predictions of what was going to happen. And you can try this experiment with all different types of liquids, so you can do it multiple ways and see that. I also hope that you had a great time watching your popcorn dance and float and sink. So I really hope you're enjoying Friday after school fun, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Don't forget to take a look at our virtual programming on our website for more fun activities like this one. All right, have a great day.